Hey everyone, welcome back to Dogma. On today's episode, we're reviewing Duck Farm Dog Park in Lake Villa, Illinois. This is the third part to our 5-part series covering the dog parks of Lake County, so make sure you check out our previous videos including Independence Grove and Lakewood dog parks. Duck Farm Dog Park is located on Grand Avenue east of Route 83, and it requires a permit for entry. I have a whole blog post about permits, so I'll provide the link below for more info on how you can go about purchasing that. There's plenty of parking, and of the 3 parks we've been to so far, this was definitely the least crowded. Just make sure you display your permit or day pass on your car. The park's open pretty much all day, from 6:30 a.m. to either 7 p.m. or sunset. April through October, though, it's closed until 11 a.m. on the first and third Wednesday of the month for maintenance. At 48 acres, it's extremely large, with lots of open field spaces and grassy fields. Benji had a blast exploring this whole place, and with the less crowding compared to the other parks, there was a lot of room if your dog maybe doesn't do well in very crowded areas. The main amenities to note include on-site bathrooms, complimentary doggy bags, and benches stationed throughout the park. There was also a water fountain, but due to COVID, it was not usable when Benji and I visited. Overall, this park didn't seem as clean as the other 2 that we visited. First, there were warning signs about allowing your dog near the water at this park. Benji loves to play in the water, so that was an immediate concern for me. Second, it was really muddy. Granted, we visited here in wintertime, so that's somewhat expected, but the grassy terrain definitely makes it worse. However, it seems like people are good about picking up the dog poop, as we didn't see much of that throughout the park. In regards to cleanliness, we'll give this park a 3 out of 5 WAGs rating. I actually really like the layout of this park. The front half of it seems to be where the dogs can play together, while the back half has more trails and paths to explore. However, water is something I definitely look for in a park, as Benji loves to play in it, so I'd have to take a few points off for that. We'll give the layout of this park 4 out of 5 WAG. This park wasn't too crowded. There were dogs both on and off leash, but overall, I felt like Benji and I had plenty of space to explore. I don't really rate this on a WAG system, as everyone has different needs when it comes to this topic. But comparing to the 2 previous parks we reviewed in Lake County, this was definitely the least busy. When comparing Duck Farm to dog parks in general, I would say that it is significantly bigger than those on average. It has great amenities like the bathrooms. The parking was super easy, but the passes are somewhat expensive depending on if you're a resident or not. Now, if you've ever been to a dog park in Lake County, you know that it's an incredibly high standard. Truly, I've been to so many dog parks in my time and never experienced anything like the ones we have here. So I'm definitely being a little harsh when it comes to rating Duck Farm Dog Park. If I had gone to this one before I'd gone to Independence Grove or Lakewood, I would have been absolutely blown away by just the size of this place and all the areas for Benji to explore. So let's start with a comparison to Independence Grove. Overall, there's definitely less dogs here, which can be a pro or a con depending on what your dog needs. It's also a larger area with more room to explore, but there's no water for the dogs to play in. I'd also say that it's less scenic in comparison to Independence Grove. Lakewood is even bigger than this park and has even more trails to explore compared to Duck Farm. Duck Farm is also definitely muddier, the terrain's a little grosser. Neither one of them have water to play in, but I do think it's a drawback that Duck Farm's small stream is dangerous for your dog to play in. Lakewood is like 10 times more crowded though, and it's much more difficult to park at Lakewood due to that. So before Benji and I give our overall rating, let's quickly review the pros and cons of Duck Farm Dog Park. For me, the big pros are the large space, the amenities for both humans and dogs, it has very easy parking, and it's not as crowded as some of the other parks. The big cons, in my opinion, are that it's not as clean as some of the other parks, and for me this is mostly just concerning the water. Now granted, the water isn't located all throughout the park, so it's really not a huge deal, but if you have difficulty with recall of your dog, it would definitely be something I would worry about. It's also not as big as some of the other parks in Lake County, and it does require a permit, which, like I mentioned, if you're not a resident, can be a pretty hefty day fee, or even the annual pass is a little expensive in my opinion. Now, because my standard of dog park is kind of skewed from having the privilege of using Lake County, I'm going to rate this park in two different ways. First, in comparison to all the parks I've been to, so sort of a running average, and then in comparison to the parks in Lake County. So, in comparison to parks on average, Benji and I would give this park a 4 out of 5 wags because it is by far and beyond better than most parks you're going to find in Illinois or honestly throughout the Midwest. However, in comparison to Lake County, I can really only give it 3 out of 5 wags. So if it's a difference of 10-15 minutes to get to one of the other parks I've talked about, or if those parks have things that you're looking for, I would definitely recommend making the commute there. That's all I have for you on this review of Duck Farm Dog Park, but to reward you for making it this far, I'm going to finish out this video with some cute clips of Benji making new friends at this park. Please don't forget to share with other dog moms, especially if you're located in the Midwest. And don't forget to subscribe for more dog mom content. Thanks guys, and see you next time.